Hi everyone, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joining in with the Scrapbook Boys April challenge, and the prompt this month was let them eat cake, I think. So I am going to scrap some birthday photos, of course. I've got these photos from my son's second birthday party. So little. Those cute little cupcakes, and then him eating his little cupcake and getting icing all over his face. It's just so cute. I have some papers here from the Kaiser Craft Party Time collection, and this came in one of their, they occasionally do 100 packs of their older papers for like $10, so it's really cheap. So these came in one of those packs, so I got 4 of the papers from that collection, and they're all double-sided, and I think you get 5 of each paper in those 100 packs. So I have heaps of these that I need to use, and the colors matched the prompt image really well also. So straight away, as soon as I saw this paper, my first idea was to make a sort of banner style layout. And I love this stripy rainbow piece, so I'm just cutting that out. And as soon as I cut off the branding strip, I really like that confetti sort of effect. So I put that at the top with the idea of using it, and I come across a couple more that I really like as well, so they will make it onto the layout. But first I'm just going to cut up a bunch of these papers to make my sort of banner effect. So I quite like this hip hip hooray section of this cut apart sheet, so I'm trimming that out. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it yet, but I really like that scripty font. And just going to go through a few of the papers and do the same thing. So just cut out sections for my like pennant banner. Not even sure what you would call it. Bunting? Maybe bunting is the right word. I've also cut out that section of that card deliberately to have that Celebrate Today script on it. So that's going to form part of my title. I've got my phone down in the corner there looking at the inspiration image. So I'm just fiddling around with the placement. I didn't have really an idea of what I was going to do apart from that I wanted to do a bunting banner style. And here I found this strip. That's another sort of, it's not the branding strip, but it's the same sort of size as a branding strip. And it's just pink with lots of little X's all over it. And I don't know, I thought of them as kisses. So I'm going to pop that down the bottom. That will move. Just trying to get a bit of an idea of where I want to put those banners. I love this paper. I'm going to have to use it as a background for something, but for the moment I just want lots of sort of pastel colours. I want lots of pinks and blues and mints and peaches. I'm just really trying to get all those colours that are in that rainbow stripe onto the page. So now I'm going to trim down my photos. I'm going to crop my son out of this one actually, so that it's just the cupcakes. And then I'm going to crop my poor Nana out of that photo where she's sort of got her arm around him, mainly just because she's in other photos from this day. I think I just want this, well, I just wanted this layout just to be sort of about him and, you know, him eating his cake. But yeah, and that shirt she has on is very sort of purple, and I don't have a lot of that color in this layout, so I guess I was just trying to crop as much of that out as I could. And then I'm going to pop those on a bit of white cardstock. I'm sorry about that glare. I was trying to film at night and my lights really aren't the best for nighttime filming, so there is a bit of glare. I do apologize. Just trimming that out to leave a bit of a white border, and then I'm going to go ahead and back those photos on that dark navy and spotty sort of pattern paper. So I'm just doing that because there's a little bit of navy around the page, but most of the other colors are soft pastels, so it's really helping to bring the focus of the page back to those photos, so they really stand out off all those soft colors. And plus there is quite a bit of dark blue in the photos with the patty pans and the shirt my son's wearing, so I have a rough idea of how I'm going to do those flags now, so I'm just sort of laid them out in that rough layout that I want, and now I'm going to start trimming out the flag shape. So I'm not doing anything particularly scientific. I'm not making sure it's perfectly even. I'm just eyeballing it really. So I'm going to go through and cut all those. And I will go in off camera and cut. I end up cutting a lot. I cut some thinner ones. I cut some that are sort of brighter colors, a bit of that purple, not purple, that brighter yellow, and some darker pinks, just to sort of really make those pop off the page. And then I also cut some really short ones that end up at the top. So roughly going to have my title like that. These are the Pink Paisley American Crafts Alphas. I'm just using the 2 so that the title says Celebrate 2 today. And I like that green. And then I'm going to cut this one into a banner. That's going to go on the left side of my bunting. So my entire title will end up being Hip Hip Hooray, Celebrate 2 today. Which is pretty long for a title, but that's okay. I just like how it frames either side of those photos. Cutting out some more flags. So a few different varying sizes. This one's a bit thinner. And there we go. I have them all cut out. I didn't make you watch it all. I've glued them all together and glued my photos down as well. And I've just sort of cut straight across, a line straight across. And you can see that kind of looks a little bit weird, so I'm going to start shaping it now. I want it to have a sort of, you know, that sagging, scooped appearance. See what I mean in a minute, a little bit better. So I just sort of cut it roughly with my trimmer, and now I'm going to use my pencil to sketch out a bit more of a curved line across the top, and then I'll take my scissors and trim those all out. Because they're all glued together, this makes it a bit easier. So it's definitely easier to make this a bit longer than you really want, and then just come in and trim it at the end rather than trying to make them all sort of line up perfectly. Okay, pretty happy with that. I want it a little bit further up the top, so there's that other branding strip that I found. It's the same as the pink one with the X's all over it, but it's in a minty teal sort of colour. So now I'm going to go ahead and jazz up my background a little bit. Nothing flash, I'm just doing a whole bunch of splatters. So this is a Kaiser Craft Mist in turquoise, I believe. It's just a dark tealy turquoise sort of colour. And just doing a few splatters with that. I did water it down just a little bit because it is a very, very bold colour. So I didn't want it to be too full on. Now I'm going into my watercolours as well, and I'm trying to match. So I put my banner up there because I'm trying to match some of the colours as best I can. So I'm trying to mix some of that sort of brighter raspberry pink. I really love those colours together. Just move that so it doesn't get splatters all over it. So there's no rhyme or reason here. I'm just sort of splattering around where the banner doesn't cover. So this is the How to Swap Colour Shine in Coral. It's just a really sort of pretty peach colour with a bit of a shine to it. And this is the Kaiser Mist in Gold. So of course I had to add some gold splatters. And again, just sort of randomly all over the place. And now I'm going to trim off my browning strip. I'm just using a piece of full paper there to give me a bit of a guide. The only thing I don't like about the Kaiser Craft white cardstock, you can't tell where the browning strip starts and finishes, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly where to trim it off. Okay, I'm getting ready to glue things down now, so I'm taking my ATG and I am just putting a bit of tape on the back of those strips that are going to go at the top and the bottom of my page. So I'm going to put this mint one right at the bottom. And then I'm going to layer these two at the top. So I'm taking the little sort of polka dotty confetti sprinkles strip, and I'm going to glue that down first, and then I'm going to take the other one and sort of squeeze it underneath, sort of tucking it under, and it's going to grab onto that tape as well. And I'm also going to pop in a little bit of wet glue just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. It's pretty stuck to that ATG tape that's on the first strip, but I'm just putting a couple of little skinny drops of tacky glue just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And checking how my banner fits in there. So glary. And I'm just going to quickly glue that down with a nice big scribble of glue. Everything is already glued together, so I just need to glue the back of this down to the background paper. And oh goodness, embellishment is coming up. I had so much trouble embellishing this layout, you wouldn't even believe. So here I'm just putting in a bit of foam tape under the bottom of all those banner pieces. I won't make you watch this, but I do it to all of them, and it really creates a lot of dimension. They looked so flat and just two-dimensional and boring, sitting all overlapped like that, but as soon as I put some foam underneath, they all really stand up off the page. So this is just gold metallic embroidery thread, DMC floss, and I'm just taking the whole 6 strands. I'm not unraveling them, I'm just using them all in one piece, and I'm just going to glue that all along the top of that banner. I'm using a fair bit of glue, and I'm being really patient and letting it really dry before I move on and do anything else. Okay, so embellishment. Oh, I had so much trouble, and I've cut most of this out, but I have left some of it in so you can see how much trouble I have with this. This is always the hardest part of a layout for me. I seem to motor along really well, and then I get right to the end where embellishments go on, and I mean, this is most people's favorite part. I just really seem to struggle, and I can never get it how I want it, and I feel like I tried every single embellishment I own on this layout before I got it right. So I'm trying those chipboard tags. I've had these for probably nearly 10 years in my stash, and I have not used more than 2, I would say. I've got 3 packets of them in different colors, and I just have so much trouble using them. I don't know why. So I try to get a couple of them on, and that none of them make it on this layout. So those cute little tags are from Spotlight. They're from the Fundamentals brand, Fundamentals I think they're called. I really like them. They are a bit glossy though, so I've used a Sharpie to write on it, and I just wrote my son's name and the date. Was it the date, or maybe just the year? I might have just put the year because I know it's his birthday and I know when that is, so I don't really need the date even. So there you go. I'm trying those tags. They don't make it. They look okay on camera. I think the problem is they're chipboard and then they have foam behind them as well. They're just, I can't. I just really struggle. These ice creams, I really like them. They're from the Reject Shop. I try a few of them out on the page, move them around, swap them out. None of them make it on the page either. These clear stickers, again from the Reject Shop, do make it on the page. So, well, some of them. I'm pulling out this cute little brushstroke one. It says "Love ya" with an exclamation point in that soft purple, which I really like. And I do take that mint one and put it up the top, but that does end up coming off. And I couldn't save it, unfortunately. I ripped it, so. But, oh well. Okay, that's from the same sticker pack as the clear stickers, but these are opaque, sort of normal stickers. And I'm going to use a happy birthday one, but I've just realized I need to trim off my extra banner bit before I can put that down because I don't know from the front, I don't know where to put that sticker. I don't want to have to cut some of it off. Okay, so I just want to layer that happy birthday sticker right underneath that Hooray, and it is a bit long, so I'm going to just trim off the ends. And then it fits in that space just perfectly, like it was meant to be there. Gives that nice little pop of gold as well. This is from that same sticker pack, but they're kind of like vellum stickers almost. They're semi-transparent and I couldn't make any of them work. Now moving on to die cuts. Oh gosh, the die cuts. This, I don't know why this layout gave me so much trouble. Like just right at the end here. This is the, I'm nearly finished, but it just took me so long. So I went through all these die cuts. I think I use one. Yeah, I use those balloons. That's it. That's the only one I use. And then I go through another pack, and I think I used 2 out of that. I like that camera, so that is going to stay there. So that bottom cluster I got done with pretty quickly. That top one, I couldn't make it work, so I just ripped everything off. I was really getting frustrated with it. So I ripped it off and then I moved on. So I've just trimmed that balloon die cut to take off all that white edge that just really was overwhelming the whole thing. And I'm just going to sort of overlay that over the join between my 2 photos. And I just popped the top up on a bit of foam tape because everything is quite dimensional now with that embroidery thread and everything and all those layers of paper. I know I like this bottom cluster, so I'm just going to glue it down and trim off that little bit. And then I cut most of it out because I was literally doing this for probably an hour. But finally settled on this little cluster, which is nothing spectacular. I don't know why it took me so long to get there, but I got there and I'm happy with it now. That little hexagon is the same color as that clear sticker down the bottom, so that carries that sort of diagonal across the page, and I like that. So now I'm just going to come in with some little enamel dots from, these are from the Reject Shop as well, and I'm just going to use those peach, raspberry pink and mint green ones, and I'm just going to put 3 in each cluster. So that finishes everything off just nicely. Those echo the paint splatters nicely. I'm happy with it in the end, even though it took me so long. So there we go. I'm just going to stick down the excess of these with some washi tape. So I've just brought them around the back and stuck them down so they're not going to go anywhere. And that's it. Done. Pretty simple really. It shouldn't have taken me as long as it did, but oh well. Thanks so much for joining me. I really, really love how this turned out. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out Scrap the Boys. It's a really fun challenge every month, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.